I first heard the name Inner City Arts 13, 14 years ago. At that time, I'd been a museum executive for almost 30 years. And we had a great idea. Let's bring in some school children. Let's work with them for a year. Let's have them tell their family stories. So the kids were bringing in all sorts of things, an old wedding dress, photographs, you can imagine. And of course, once they passed the threshold of the museum, everything was handled with kid gloves. It has to go behind plexiglass. Things go on mannequins. And this one little kid, and I'd gotten to know the kids really well, wrote on the label of his really ratty old Inner City Arts t-shirt that being at Inner City Arts was the best and most important thing in my whole life. I'd never heard of this place. I also was slightly offended. Why wasn't my museum that had just invested $150,000 in this project the best and most important thing? But it started me on a journey down to Skid Row, Los Angeles, and we do call it that locally. It's right on the side of our fire trucks. It's a huge, magnificent city that has huge and overwhelming problems. We are the homeless capital of America. So this aging museum dad with too much jewelry, way too much hair, goes to Skid Row. We have 100,000 people sleeping on the streets every night. And historically in this neighborhood for now, almost 100 years, we have concentrated our social services immediately east of the high rises. So they're right there. Then we've got Skid Row, and the problems are overwhelming. I'm not an expert on homelessness. I really care about high poverty kids. Once I realized that within a 2.5 mile radius of this little place, there were more than 30,000 kids living in conditions that you can only, in your worst nightmares, imagine, then I was in. I left the museum world behind and just wanted to be of service. And of course, my education continued from there. We have to sanitize our sidewalks every morning because of the vast amount of human waste. And so how do you take a little outpost at that point, 13 years ago, we were a converted garage. How do you incrementally, organically take a stand for kids, for the community, believe deeply that good people, good ideas, good things can come out of this neighborhood and never waver? How do you do that as part of our story? I thought that probably using time most wisely, I'd actually show you a video, very short, of Inner City Arts that was just at the Museum of Modern Art in an exhibition that just closed a couple of months ago. So that gave you a little bit of a fast introduction: dance, drama, music, animation, all sorts of visual arts. It's a program that's embedded in the school curriculum. So we see about 10,000 kids a year, and the school district actually has been a partner from the earliest days, and they bus the kids to us. Even if they're only 2 blocks away, our school that's 2 blocks away has a 85% homeless rate. So the streets themselves are a little bit too dangerous for the kids to come. But, you know, Frida said to me, I don't want to be removed from Skid Row. I want you to make our neighborhood safe and clean. So how do we do that? How do we leverage who we are, our long-term stand for the kids, to close crack houses, which we've been involved with, get cameras in the side of the building, because in addition to the Skid Row population, we have a Men's Central Jail that releases 500 to 700 people every day into the community. How do you have a disenfranchised community in which there are no voices to say, don't put the recently released felons into this neighborhood? So you've got, 400, 500, 600. Can you leverage the arts and what you're doing to the in the community to move that further away? Because the kids are saying, make it safe and clean. Can you listen to the kids? If what they want in terms of a safe after-school haven is to do the International Scratch Academy, sure, why not? So trying to explain to my father what was happening to vinyl albums, which the kids didn't recognize as anything they knew, was hilarious. So here they are, or telling original stories from their own experiences. Stand-up comedy, this was hilarious, and yet it's a recent immigrant family, it's their own story about coming to LA and the challenges. But if you're growing up in the Mission, you have to keep your shoes on at night because they're going to get stolen. If you have the courage to get up and twist that a little bit to tell your story and get the audience with you, wow. And that's us.